So welcome back to part 2 of the alley wheel refurbishment on the Range Rover Sport. As we know, the wheels are missing. First job, let's get that loose wheel back into the acid. So if you haven't already watched part 1, please head over to the channel, select the part 1 of the alley wheel refurbishment. Explains a lot about the process of the first part of it. Bit of a long video if we stretched it out across, so we've broken it down. First video, really the stripping down process. This video is going to be the good stuff. Okay, let's start the prep on the face of these wheels then. I'm going to start with the worst one, which I've all shown you in part 1. This is the wheel that's going to be most, I say going to be most. This one's pretty bad too. We're going to show you our process, show how long it takes. I'm going to time lapse most of it because apart from you seeing me there sanding, grinding, filing, if I have to TIG weld, we have to TIG weld, but I'm pretty sure we can eliminate most of that with just the sanders. So let's get it to the bench. So from the time lapse, you'll see that that's the first stage. You can see how long that takes, even on a time lapse. We've basically just been grinding away at the sections just to level it off. You see, we haven't took the shape away from the wheel, but we've just taken out the deep gouges that were in, because this was pure aluminium where it had been diamond cut. We've just flattened that face back off. Yeah, you know, the only proper way to do this would be to do it on a lathe and spin it up, or a diamond cut machine and recut it all and face it. But we've done many a wheel like this, and we will continue to do wheels like this. We can't add filler into those holes because filler is not heat resistant and it will just bubble out. So we'll go back to our engineering days and we'll just keep doing as we're doing. So on to the second stage, get the files and the sanders out. I'll time lapse that and I'll show you the end result. Okay, so sorry if that time lapse took a little bit there. I wanted you to see quite the extent of what it takes to try and get these wheels, or any kind of aluminium, back to where it should be. Ali is very forgiving, so there's a lot you can do to it to bring it back to where it needs to be. So I'll just show you now. You still need sandblasting, but I'll show you how mint they are. You can see we've been getting in all the gaps, all the grooves, anywhere that would have been scuffed up. It's now flat. Anyone thinking that you should do that on a lathe, you should make it flat, you can see we're pretty good at what we do. All the edges are still sharp. Anywhere that would have had an edge that was still a sharp edge is still a sharp edge. Again, it takes a little while. But look at it. I'll now get the other ones done. I'll check on the one that's in the acid. I'm not going to record cleaning that one off. We'll get the one back to the same standard as this. Next clip then, they'll all be in the blasting shed. They'll have a slight douse over to key them up. Any areas that have still got sanding marks, we'll make that all uniform, ready for the powder. Let's get on. Okay, so we're not quite finished yet. The one wheel, rather hot in there. We're just cooking that powder off, see it's smoking away. Just drying the wheel out after we jet washed it. Trying to get what's left of that powder on. I don't know why that powder stuck so much on there, but it is. It will not defeat us. We will get it off. The other 3 wheels are all prepped now, so just flip this one out, prep it. I'll quickly run you around them just before we start blasting them. Okay, so there we have it. All 4 faced off. This is the one that was real bad. And if you look, what's left of it, it does look like it's had quite a lot of filler primer put on it, which is why it was a pain to get off. Look, See how thick that is? So that might explain it. That's going to get blasted off anyway. We'll leave what's left on there. Again, repaired all the faces on these ones. They are all mint. We're just going to blast them off now, give them the abrasion they need, and then time for the oven. There they are, all blasted. This is the wheel that had all the bits still on it. As you can see, they've all been taken off. Anywhere that we've smoothed or adjusted, all the way around. Back to an aluminium wheel. Let's hang them all up, get them all in the oven. And unfortunately, because they're so big, they're going to take a little while to preheat. Let's get them outgassed, see how we get on. So that's them outgassed. Just so you know, outgassing basically means it tries to draw out any air that's inside it to stop them bubbling up in case you were to powder it. They also stop any contamination, so it'll burn off any oils or any grease that's on your fingers. Been in there, it's 180 degrees, well over an hour now at least, so let's get some powder on. Now's the time to guess the colour. What colour do you think they're going to be? So we are hot flocking these wheels, which is basically applying the powder to the fully hot wheel. A lot of people say that this is not doable. We've done this for a very long time, and you'll see from the end result that even hot flocking one of the hardest colours, a gloss black, we can still manage to pull it off. So here we're moving on to the most important bit, the face. Getting in all the grooves, all the gaps. You see I've got a light in my hand. You can just see there that I'm working the powder into each gap. Just checking that there's an even coat all the way around. Moving quite quickly because obviously with the edges of the faces and the edge of each spoke, it's very easy to build up a large amount of powder and it to create basically like a run. So pretty much first one complete, looking amazing, powder's flowing lovely, time to get the rest done. So that's it. Get this fourth one in to join the other three. These have to get to 180 degrees, and then the cure time is for 10 minutes. So 10 minutes at 180 degrees. Time for a quick quality check over these, see how they look, see if the edges of the faces, make sure there's no pitting, check the back faces, just check they all look as good as they should be. So not only is it like -1 in here, we come to a bit of a problem. I said they look mint, which they did when they first come out. After further investigation, we're not happy with them. I'll show you why. I'll tell you what we're going to do to correct it. It does mean they're going back in the oven again to be repowered for a second time. So that's it. Thank you very much for watching part 2 of this series on alley wheel refurbishment. If you haven't already, head over to the channel and watch part 1. If you've got this far, brilliant. Stay tuned for part 3. We are going to finish these wheels. They are going to look fantastic. Hit the like, hit subscribe, leave a comment, anything else you want to see, previous, coming up, you know, we're open to suggestions. Keep it real.